Hello everybody, and today we are going to talk about why do people recycle? Do you know why do people recycle? If you don't know, then you have to study this lesson with me in the YouTube. Now, are you ready for this lesson? Let's begin. Why do people recycle? First, we're gonna talk about part 1. Let's begin with part 1. Do you see the symbol on the right? Sometimes it is on the bottom of things we use. Other times it is actually on trash bins. This is called the recycling symbol. Recycle means to get an old thing, like this placemat, and turn it into a new thing, like a red tennis ball. Like this. The placemat has been turned into a red tennis ball. Maybe you should try this experiment yourself. Get some mats, or maybe a towel that you use to clean a whiteboard. Fold it up onto a tennis ball, and then look at it. If you could see, it is a circle. Try bouncing the tennis ball. Do you see that the tennis ball will be visible here? If you bounce this down to the floor, the tennis ball will come out. So that is one of the experiments I want to tell you. Those experiments are going to be for my next lesson about gravity. Like this. Try dropping a ball in your hand. Your hand catches the ball, but try throwing the ball back upward. Your upper hand doesn't really catch the ball. This is because of the amazing process, gravity. Gravity. Now, gravity. Gravity is a force that pulls us down. There, if I jump up, gravity pulls me down. If I stand on a chair, gravity also pulls me down on the chair, so I don't float around. Do not think if I stand on a tennis ball or a placemat. If you try standing on the towel, you're still stuck to the ground. Now, try moving the towel upwards. It falls like it has a long time to fall. This is because how light the towel is. No matter how light it is, it will fall gently to the ground. Like try getting one piece of paper. Try dropping it on the ground. It will take a long time, wouldn't it? Like maybe 2 seconds. Now try taking 3 pieces of paper. Then it might take 1 second. Now try dropping a big book. It lands with a thud, and then it goes down fast. So, when you recycle, you mean you use something again. Use this old towel, turn it into something new. That's what recycle means. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the questions. You need this towel, and then I'll need this towel and erase the sign. I'm gonna write question 1. What does this give you an answer within 5 seconds. I gave you 10 seconds to finish it, of course. So now let's move on. The answer is recycle. Write recycle on the line. Now that you finished writing recycle on the line, let's move on with the next question. Ready for the next question to come in? A bit of magic and all set. Super magical. Go up the whiteboard. Now that it is showing the whiteboard again, let's move on with the next question. Let me pick up my towel. There. Now that we picked up our towel, let's move on with the next thing. The next question. What can we recycle? I mean, fill in the blanks. I'll give you about 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, do you fill in the blanks? The first blank is metal. Metal. That's one thing that we can recycle. Plastic. Another thing that we can recycle. Paper is another thing we can recycle. So there are about 3 things we can recycle. We can also recycle tires, computers, even batteries. There are a bunch of things. There are about 2,000 things that could be recycled. Now that we've finished part 1, questions of part 1, let's move on with part 2. Now let's talk about part 2. Part 2 is basically about recycling what we can and what we cannot. So, are you ready? let's begin. There's some things that we can recycle, and some things that we can't. Now, what are some things that we can recycle? Well, we can recycle some things such as metal, plastic, and glass. Make sure remembering it for the next episode. Now, you see, when things that are eaten up, they leave the bodies, they decompose and actually make food for plants. Now, let's move on. Some things that we cannot recycle. We cannot recycle a banana peel. We cannot recycle a banana peel. We cannot recycle a leaf. We cannot recycle we cannot recycle a flower. We do not recycle a flower. And we do not recycle other living things. Humans cannot recycle themselves. Nature recycles humans. But I am going to talk about nature that recycles things in part 3. Now we're just at part 2. Now let's move on. We are some recyclers. We could recycle some things such as bottles. You can get a plastic bottle, drink it all up, when you drink it all up, you could see that you could recycle the bottle in some ways. One way, you could do an experiment with it. Try making a line at the middle of the bottle, just where the sticker is. Then have an adult help you cut the line out. Then after you cut out the line, you could see there was a big ending with the lid. Then take the part of the lid and put it out in your balcony. Then try planting a plant there. That's how we humans recycle. Drink water, cut out, and plant some plants. That is what some of the things we usually do to recycle. So, now, you could see in the part 2, we've learned about what we can recycle and what we cannot. So now, let's move on with the question. I am going to erase flower, bye-bye flower, erase banana peel, bye-bye banana peel, and erase leaf, bye-bye leaf, bye-bye to everything. Bye-bye bottle because we plant a plant with it. Never mind. Now, let's just move on with the next question. Question 1 of part 2. Question 1 of part 2. Can we recycle A is banana peel. B, ostrich. C, plastic. Can we recycle a banana peel? Yes, we can. Wrong. We cannot recycle a banana peel. Unless you have tape. Take the banana peel, put it in, maybe put it in some soil and then plant it. Just like that. But most people don't do it. Now, can we recycle an ostrich? Yes, we can. No, we can't. We cannot recycle an ostrich. Nature recycles an ostrich. Can we recycle plastic? Yes, we can. We can recycle plastic into maybe a flower pot, just like that. Now that you've finished what we call question 1, let's move on with question 2. Question 2 is going to be about something different. Question 2. What do people recycle and what they don't? Write what people recycle here, they don't recycle here. I'll give you 20 seconds. 20, 19, 17, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now, are you ready to write down the answers? Let's begin. What we can recycle is plastic. What we cannot recycle is animals. Now that you've written down your answer, write plastic in line 1, animals in line 2. So those are the questions for part 2. Ready for the next question to begin? Well, let's be ready and jump into the next episode. Part 3. Now that we finished part 2, let's move on to part 3. Part 3 is going to be about something else, something really interesting. It is going to be about how things decompose and what will make them rot. Or decompose, of course. Let's begin! So now, let's talk about the fact about how we recycle. Are you ready? Let's begin. How do we recycle? And how does nature recycle? When something dies, like a plant or an animal, it rots. It rots and turns into food for plants. These plants eat the food. This is called decomposement. Decomposing. When we decompose, the earth has the right abilities. Some things the earth can't decompose or recycle is plastic, metal, and glass. We could still recycle those products to make them our own products. Make our own products in order to save the world. So that is the paragraph of part 3. Because it is part 3, I am going to give you 4 questions. 4 questions in part 3. So now, let's do the 4 questions. So now, let's do the 4 questions of part 3. Got your e-math notebook. Your e-math notebook. Get some kind of notebook, write e-math. Then write e-science inside. Then write down 4 questions. Question 1. What can the earth decompose? What can the earth decompose? I'll give you 10 seconds to write and 5 seconds to complete the answer. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you're out of time. So now let's answer the question. The answer of the question is the earth can decompose flowers, but the earth cannot decompose metal or plastic. You could write something else, like earth can decompose. Earth can decompose some things, such as write out all the things that Earth can decompose, and Earth cannot decompose. Write up all the things that Earth can decompose: wood, plastic, wool, paper, plastic, metal, ink. Can't decompose ink. It cannot decompose metal or a bunch of other stuff. Aluminum, it cannot decompose aluminum. Or even foil, aluminum foil, a metal-shaped foil. So now that you finished question 1, let's move on with question 2. Question 2 is metal and plastic. What will be the easiest to metal and plastic? What do you think will be the easiest to decompose? Metal or plastic? What do you think will be easiest to recycle? Well, it must be plastic. You need to burn metal into lava and then make the metal into something else in order to reuse the metal. But for plastic, you don't need to burn down the plastic. If you burn plastic, it will turn into cement. Try burning a little piece of plastic. Then it will become cement that will stick two things together. For example, take the lid off the can. Then cut a little piece of the can. When you finish cutting, try putting it next to the fire. it will turn into glue, of course. Then try making another type of glue, body heat activated glue. Mixing soda and juice mix, making a body heat activated glue. Put the glue on a piece of paper and try it. Put something like your friend, one of your friends hairs, when we pluck one of your hairs, and then put it onto the glue. See, when you try to take the hair off the glue in 1 second, the hair is stuck to the glue. That's why it's called body heat activated glue. So now that we finished part 3 about the questions and the experiment, let's move on with part 4. Well, now let's have part 4 taken care of. Part 4 is all going to be about adjustments and natural resources. Earth's natural resources are limited, which means they cannot be replaced. Some of the Earth's natural resources include water, metal, plastic, and minerals. Even rocks. Well, minerals such as quartz could be used to make our plastic cans. Could you see this plastic? It is made from minerals. Try slapping on it. Could you see that it bounces? See when it bounces? When it bounces, you could see that it makes a sound. Then, when it makes a sound, try making a piece of rock bounce. Could you see that it is harder? Make it round, smooth, and light. Really hard work. So, what that means is that it's a really hard work to pull something off as this plastic bottle. We need some sort of machine to make the rock smoother so it could be a plastic bottle, maybe the mineral, like quartz, smoother. Then when you make the quartz smoother, it will be a plastic bottle just like this. Or if you want to make metal, you could consider minerals making your pair of scissors. They could only make minerals can only make 2 things, plastic and metal. And it seems really good to me. Use the metal, cut the plastic. Just like that. That's one way to also recycle. So today our main topic is mainly about recycling. Now let's move on with the true and false questions. Question 1. There are 2 true and false questions. 1. Where does the plastic and other things go? I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So now it's 0 seconds already, and now you see the answer is trash bin. Good point. Collecting point. Well, now the next true and false question. The next true and false question. What would not be able to decompose? A banana peel or metal? What will not be able to decompose? I will give you 15 seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Well, did you guess the answer? What could not decompose is metal. Metal cannot decompose. So those are the two true and false questions. Now in part 5, we're gonna review with one very hard question. So now let's move on with part 5. So now let's move on with part 5. Part 5. Part 5 is going to be talking about, what do you know part 5 is going to be talking about? Well, one long question. What can Earth decompose? What can we decompose? What can we cannot? What can Earth recycle? What can we recycle? What can Earth cannot recycle? What can we cannot recycle? I'll give you 20 seconds. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So did you get the answer? What can Earth recycle? Something that Earth can recycle is a banana peel. What can Earth cannot recycle? Well, Earth cannot recycle plastic. What can we recycle? We can recycle metal. What we cannot recycle? Well, we cannot recycle banana peels. So, if you like this video about why do people recycle, make sure to like and subscribe me more at studying about science. Make sure to smash the subscribe button and see you next time.